Well, currently I have two children, a second grader and a first grader, and an incoming kindergartner at North Glendale. And I've been one of those active parents who, come in the classroom, read, do activities with the kids, as well as have a very good relationship with the principal, who is African American as well. And so, just my experience with North Glendale, they are leaning towards being more aware of cultural awareness within the school curriculum and the cultural awareness as far as African American students are concerned, but we got to get better.
And are your kids in totality of their classroom? I mean, how many black students are in their classes?
Well, of course, the proportionate ratio here in Kirkwood is we are the minority, and it's unfortunate that we're in a society where the majority just wants to lead and has no awareness of what the minority is really going. That as the adult person who actually picked that didn't have any type of cultural awareness as far as being able to reciprocate African American kids singing themselves in their own school book yearbook cover. Yes, which was kind of culturally insensitive as well. But there's been such a stigma with the PTO in the Kirkwood School District that, in a sense, the black families do their own PTO, their own community PTO. We've started our own community organizations, our own after-school programs, to the point to where we're trying to get these programs included in the Kirkwood School District so they can see some of the success that we've had with these community programs, and they can have that real, true inclusiveness that they are looking for, because there's such disparity in the achievement gap at the Kirkwood School District. Man, it's a shame. It's been like that for so long. First off, about issues that they might not be aware of, but just so they can have some understanding that sometimes people make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, the best thing for them to do is to apologize and to move forward from that and make sure these things don't happen again. And unfortunately, Kirkwood School District dropped the ball here. North Glendale dropped the ball. They made a huge mistake for leaving the identity of African American students out of their yearly school book. Yes, reason why, because photos resemble memories, okay? And memories are things that last forever. And we want to make sure that every kid at the Kirkwood School District has a good memory and nothing that they can use as a crutch later on in life. So I definitely think there needs to be way more sensitivity within the reaction of the PTO as well as the Kirkwood School District, as far as who is in charge of the North Glendale PTO and are they really, qualified to lead for the future?
Yeah.
No, no.
Do you plan on showing them?
No. I figured we create our own memories, and actually I've been in the class. I go to the classrooms every month in each one of my classrooms, as well as the kindergarten classrooms, just so they can see somebody different, in that environment. So I got so many pictures and stuff like that. We almost got our own yearbook.
Yeah. School is over with. After they graduate, things don't work out in college. They're looking for jobs. And I try to assist them in any way possible, getting them to the next step, because they leave the school district not prepared for the real world, point blank. Kirkwood School District for years hasn't made the leap into including African American ideas, cultural norms that are included in the curriculum, because it's so hard for them to see that. The couple of incidents that I've had with the yearbook, with the recommendation of Bill Gunn, just reflects that they don't think anything is wrong with the moves they make unless somebody brings it up. And then we get the apologies. We're sorry for what we did. We were insensitive. We'll know better next time. Well, next time comes every single year. Each year there's a next time. Somebody needs to be held accountable for this. And this is the year that someone's going to be held accountable. They can't, if you're not held accountable, you think everything is okay. And it's not okay. You look at the academic scores, the MAP test scores of African American students and white students, the gap is just getting even worse. And they want to tiptoe around it. We'll do this, we'll do that, but it has no great impact. I come into play, I contact the school board, the administration, because the school board supposedly are our representatives in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to represent us, and if they don't want to represent us, we'll go outside the community to get somebody who can come in and do that for us. And I think we're probably at that point now. We've tried for years to come to the table and negotiate, try to get things changed, and nothing seems to ever happen. 2020, the information is out there. You just don't want to hear it. You don't want to learn it. You're definitely not teaching it to your children, so how would they know any better? Which means this problem is going to continue on unless we stop it at the bud, and it gets stopped at the public school system.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, we just might as well get ready. When you see what the country's going through right now, hopefully we won't get to that point here in Kirkwood, but if it has to go that way, it just has to go that way. Something has to stop. Our children's lives are at stake here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to put a lot of pressure on them. If we just hold on for another 6 months, it'll be something different. This district's not going to change unless we make them change.
Mm-hmm.
They can apologize, but after apologizing so many times, it just doesn't go over anymore. So it's time to put some change to them.
And so just, I mean, obviously you feel strongly about the history, but just in a concise statement, can you confidently say that Kirkwood School District has a history of racial discrepancies?
Absolutely. When I first got involved with them years ago, they had on their website that they invited the African American community in 1955 to come into their schools. And I had to talk, I think it was Ginger, I had to talk to I'm not sure what her title is, but she shared with me, I shared with her that had to change. You all didn't invite the African American community into your schools. You were mandated by the federal authorities to do that. So don't act like, you all would invite us with open arms, because you didn't. There's been time and time again where we've had to fight just for little things in the Kirkwood School District. And I can't count the number of lives that have been affected negatively by the racial discrepancy that took place years ago that now is turned into systemic. It's engraved in the system. Not saying that the people are racist, but the rules and regulations that they uphold are definitely racist. And it showed in the North Glendale photo. It showed in the recommendation of Bill Gunn. It shows in how they react to giving an apology.
Yeah.
The apologies in 2020 don't work. They might have worked in 1960, but not 2020. They need to change, and we're here to help them change, but they don't want our help.
The people who are making these decisions responsible?
Well, I can just relate to my job.
Mm-hmm.
If I made the mistake that have been made in the Kirkwood District with these last two incidences, for sure, without a doubt, there's no question about it, I'd have been fired. They make too much money in the Kirkwood School District to make mistakes like that and not get fired. They need to be fired. This isn't personal, this is business. I would be fired from my job. I'm not sure where you all work, but you probably be fired from your job if you make mistakes like that. In Kirkwood, they have what's called the buddy system, whereas they look out for each other. And it's been like that for years. You can make a mistake and it be okay with doing, even when it's brought to their attention.
Mm-hmm.
There's a state law where they can't reveal what kind of discipline that they may do to people, adults, administrators, teachers in the district, but you hear about the children all the time, what happens to them. So this needs to be a level playing field, and mistakes are made, someone needs to be fired. And if the administrators aren't fired, the next level is, then we need a whole new school board. If they won't act, they need to go also. Elections coming up, so we're going to see.
And the PTO of North Glendale is apparently the one who approved this photo. This is the one they selected out of countless other photos that I could have picked. So they're not necessarily people who can get fired.
Right.
So how do you hold these parents responsible?
I believe that if any organization that is connected to the Kirkwood School District, it has to meet a certain criteria. You can't have people with that mentality running or associated with a school district that has all types of children. They can't be on the school. They can't be